Cricket Diary with RJ Yuvi. Only on Radio City.
All right, welcome to a brand new episode of Cricket Diaries with RJ Yuvi. Well, to introduce the man on my right, 7th of July, it is Mahendra Singh Dhoni's birthday. 8th of July is Saurav Ganguly. 10th of July is the great Sunil Gavaskar, and it's an Aussie between the Indians again. Well, when I open the Wikipedia of Shaun Marsh, the first line it says, probably one of the most stylish batsmen that Australia has ever seen. How do you react to the most stylish batsman?
Look, I guess it's nice. I've always loved sort of the way that I played on my cricket. So, yeah.
I was just interviewing Arun a little while back, and he said that if there's one Aussie who can make it back to the squad and get his retirement back, is Shaun Marsh.
I don't think so. That's very nice of Aaron to say that, but I'm 41 as of today, and I sure
Don't they do that's the number?
They do say that, but I don't think my body would allow me to play at the top level again.
Shaun, if I ask you about your fondest memories, what is that one memory of the Australian dressing room that you would always want to carry and be remembered for?
I think winning series for Australia, especially Test match series. The feeling that you had in that change rooms after 5 days of hard work, to have a beer with your teammates is something that I'll cherish forever.
Do you remember the first time you were actually called up for the national squad? Where were you? When did you get the call? Who called you? Who got that news to you?
It was actually throughout the 2008 IPL. Obviously played pretty well there, and there was a one-day tour to the West Indies after that, and I think it might have been Trevor Holmes maybe who called me up, and so I was picked on that tour, and obviously a long time ago now, but you dream of playing cricket for Australia, and I guess that was my first taste of it.
You come from a family of cricket. Was cricket always the conversation over the dinner table also growing up?
Yeah, growing up, definitely. As young kids, myself and Mitch always wanted to try and follow our dad's footsteps and play cricket. So a lot of backyard cricket growing up, and sort of traveling around with Dad, with him coaching and sort of playing as well. There was a lot of talk at the dinner table.
Was it very analytical? The sky didn't play well. The bat was there. The hand didn't come well.
Yeah, it was probably more so Mum just trying to split us apart at the dinner table.
So you started from the backyard cricket. Who would bowl more often, or who would bat more? You or your brother?
I definitely bat more, and I often say this, that I take a lot of credit for Mitch being an all-rounder, because I made him sort of bowl to me a fair bit, and he always had that sort of natural ability with his batting from a young age, but I definitely sort of helped his bowling out for sure.
So when you actually are this fit, how do you take a call that I now need to hang my boots? And I'm sure it's very difficult to announce your retirement when you know you've done all your life, you love the game also, come from a family which is... How do you take the decision as a professional cricketer?
Well, I think it's, you always know that the day's going to come that you do retire from cricket. It's something that it's always in the back of your mind, and especially when you sort of get a little bit older and sort of the back end of your career, and you know it's coming. I guess nothing sort of prepares you for it. For me, I love playing cricket, and I love playing. I've loved playing for as long as I have. But it does take a little bit of time to get used to, and not having that sort of structure as a professional cricketer anymore takes time. But the one thing I sort of loved about it is you get opportunities to sort of play in these competitions that we're playing in now, and there's so many of them. So you sort of leave the sort of the professional side of things, but and which is sad, but in some ways a relief as well. But then you get an opportunity to sort of come over here and play cricket in these competitions with guys that you've played with and grown up with is pretty special as well.
Whenever I've seen you play for any team, I've always seen you being very calm on the field and not too animated. Are you an emotional cricketer?
Well, I can be, yeah. I try and be as calm as I can on the outside, but it doesn't always feel like that on the inside. There's especially when you're playing for Australia, with all the pressures that come with that, and the external pressures that come with it. There's certainly times throughout my career where I probably could have handled that a bit better. But I always try to keep calm and keep level-headed as much as I could.
Does a win or a loss affect you or your evening, let's say? Do you go by yourself? And have you cried over a dismissal or a patch in life?
I wouldn't say I've cried over a dismissal, but no one likes losing, and like it's always fun, more fun when you do win, and like I said before, the celebrations that you have after a hard fought win, whether it was Test cricket or one day cricket. In particular, when you play for Australia, or even my side, my state side in Western Australia, you train so hard for it, and cricket's a tough game, and there's a lot of ups and downs. So to have moments when you play well as a team or an individual, and you get to celebrate that with your teammates is very special. And I guess on the flip side, when you don't win, it's you don't feel too good.
You were silent and lock yourself in the room?
I don't. No, not at all. Like I said, I try and sort of keep a level head with it all, and you don't get too high with the highs, and you don't get too lows with the lows.
Are you a numbers man? Do you keep account on your number of centuries, how many playing, etc.?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Do you remember your first century?
First century, and Test century, I do, yeah. That was my first Test match in Sri Lanka, yeah. So a bit hard to forget that one. But yeah, look, like I said, having the opportunity to play for Australia and I guess score hundreds, whether it was Test cricket or one day cricket, was something that I was very proud of.
Coming and scoring 100, your first 100 in the subcontinent, facing all the spinners and everything, what would have been a validation? You look for validations initially in your career?
No. Not really. No, I think just, having that opportunity to live out my dream of being a Test cricketer was, an amazing feeling on the morning of that first Test match. Then my dad was there as well. He presented my cap to me, and I think what sort of helped is that I think we lost toss and bowled first. So I had a day in the field, and I watched Kumar Sangakkara and Mahela Jayawardene just bat for a day and a half. So, I think that sort of allowed me to sort of settle the nerves and get into the game a bit. And the wicket was very good in that Test match, and lucky enough to get going and get 100 and score 100. Or put on a few runs with Mike Hussey as well, who was, someone that I always looked up to, being a West Australian, and very fond memories of that game.
Are you superstitious as a cricketer?
Not really.
Some kind of thing that you do ritual?
I think more of a routine. I always put my right pad on first. Always have to stand up and put my thigh pad box in first as well. Then obviously my right pad. So it's more of a routine. I'm not very superstitious.
Anything in your pocket probably when you're going batting?
No, nothing like that. No, like I said, it's more of a routine to me. I was sort of very routine based, and whether it was sort of pre-game or day before a game, try to keep things as normal as possible, and a structure that I sort of knew that worked for me, and hopefully just go out there and play the next day and score runs.
So your career has had stop and start with a lot of injuries also.
Yeah, injuries and form, and like I said before, like cricket was a tough game to play, especially at the top level. There were so many ups and downs, but it's definitely helped me sort of moving forward away from cricket. I've always tried to not get too low over the lows, and you learn from your mistakes, and when things are going all right in life, whether it's cricket or outside of cricket, don't get too far in front of yourself, and just be a good person.
Sure, I'm giving you options, and you have to pick one.
Yep.
A World Cup victory or an Ashes victory?
Oh, I'm going to say Ashes, because I didn't really play in too many World Cup games, but obviously played in Ashes wins and series wins, so I'll say the Ashes.
Beating India 5-0 in India, or probably beating England in Australia like a 3-2?
I think hard to go past beating India 5-0 in India. I was lucky enough to play a few Test series in India, and without doubt the hardest experiences of my cricket career was playing there. So was lucky enough to win a test match in my time, and I just know how hard it is to play over there against a very good team. So I'll say India, 5-0 in India.
Also, you played in the IPL. You played a lot of leagues back home also. What makes IPL special?
Where do we start? Like I said, I very fortunate to play in that first year and do well, and it sort of set me up, with Kings 11 for 10 years I was there for. So
I used to root for Punjab.
yeah,
Please tell me, why don't we ever win?
I don't know. Look, I'd love to see Kings 11 win soon. I think we're due, aren't we? So hopefully they can do really well in the auction or the big auction this year and get some really good players in there, and they can finally win. But look, the IPL was without doubt the best T20 league, franchise league in the world, and you got the best players that want to play in it, along with the best Indian players, and to see it grow from 2008 to where it is now is incredible. And was lucky enough to get back there, not last season, but the season before, to go and watch Mitch play. And it's pretty special to be over there and be a part of it again. And it's just an amazing tournament to be.
You were a part of the Punjab team. Did you pick up a language? Couple of slangs from
long time ago now.
Can you recall it?
Geez,
I'm sure you've heard this. Oh, balle, 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 balle.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I can't remember.
The food?
The food was amazing. One thing I loved about Punjab and Mohali was the people. The people were so friendly up there. We got looked after so well, and we played 3 games up in Dharamshala as well, which probably one of the best grounds I played cricket at, and to be able to experience that was pretty cool. And a lot of fond memories from up in Mohali.
So there's a quick rapid fire, and from the Aussie dressing room, or probably from the world cricket, the first thing that comes to your head. Who do you think is a social media addict?
I will say David Warner loves his social media.
You've been on his TikTok ever?
I haven't known. No.
Okay. Who eats like this is the last day on planet?
I'll say my brother, Mitch Marsh.
Okay. Who eats like he's always on a fasting?
Tim Payne. Yeah.
Someone you give hand over the tag of being the introvert.
I'll give that to me, I reckon.
I was looking forward to that. Who do you think is the selfie king? Someone always on the phone clicking pictures.
I don't know.
Warner again?
Yeah, maybe Davey. He does a good job of it.
Yeah. You're sitting in a dressing room, your dressing room, Australian dressing room. Who's likely to sing a song or something? Who's always singing in the dressing room?
Mitch is a pretty good singer. He goes right on the guitar. I'll say Mitch.
Who would you now challenge for a 100-meter race?
I reckon most people would probably challenge me at the moment with my calf muscles. I'll say Finchy. I reckon I'll back myself in.
I would love to see that 100-meter. Chick versus Marsh. Who can I put you in a dance-off with?
For maybe Josh Hazelwood. I reckon I'd got him.
And you'll do better?
I reckon I've got Joshy covered.
All right. Who's always speaking? Who can never keep their mouth shut?
When I was around the Australian cricket team, Davey Warner was good on the chat.
Mm-hmm. So who would you hit a 6 to on a last ball of the match?
Who I'd like to? Maybe a Dale Steyn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
more satisfaction.
Just because he's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable bowler. Be a nice feeling, I reckon that.
Who do you think has the best haircut?
Best haircut? I'll say Nathan Lyon. The GOAT.
Okay. I'm giving you a situation. You have to pick a player. 1 ball, 6 runs to win. You're the captain. Who are you going to send to bat? Across world cricket.
World cricket. I'll go AB de Villiers.
What if there's 1 run required of 1 ball and you have an option to throw it to a bowler? Who would you give it to defend that 1 run?
I'll go Miss Stark.
Let's start. All right. One final question. If there is one player you think can come out of retirement and play for the national team again, who would it be?
It's a very good question. I've been watching Robin Uthapar over the last few months, and he can still bat. So I'll say him.
Now you brought me to this. I'll have to ask you. So sorry, Shaun. You've seen IPL. You've played IPL. Who do you think has been the most impressive amongst the youngsters?
Oh, good question. There's so many of them over there. So many good young players.
Someone is pleasantly surprised you.
I think, Gill for me. I've watched him bat over the last few years. I mean, he's obviously played a fair bit for India now, but I just think, over the next 5-10 years, we're going to see a pretty special player with him.
There's always a debate back in India, and you've played against both of them, Babar Azam versus Virat Kohli. Who's the current greatest?
Can't go past Virat. I was lucky enough to play against him a fair bit, and to be able to say that I've shared the field with him is pretty special. He, without doubt, for me, is one of the best players that I played against. So, it does not even a question in my mind who's a better player out of those two.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks very much for having me. So, appreciate it.
Cricket Diary with RJ Yuvi. Only on Radio City.